Hello, good afternoon. My name's Tony. It's the 22nd of October, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just going to do a short video about an off-grid PV system which is in Buckinghamshire. Here we've got 6 235 watt panels facing approximately west, so they're not south. Under here, as you can see here, you've got the junction box of the PV panel. The panel cables are connected in series, meaning that you've got positive, negative, negative, positive. You can see there the connectors, and you can see the junction box down there. We've simply just tied them back with cable ties to make sure they're neat and they don't get caught on anything. And these panels that I showed you, they're the same panels that we have here today with us. They are a 235, as you can see there, a 235 watt panel, and they're produced by a company called Linu. So there we have 6 panels, and then on the top of the building we have another 8, and we've got another 6 here, and these panels are facing just off of east, so sort of southeast, and they're southwest. So as we go round, you'll see here the cables are entering in the building. They've got protective sheaths on them, and then down here we have our protected, we've got a big board around it to protect it. We've got our battery system. So here we've got the protected boards out the way. You can see the complete system here. You've got the bank of batteries and the bank of regulators. So as the cables enter the building from the roof, you've got a loom of cables that enter. That loom are then subdivided into the individual regulators, and we've got 2 panels per regulator. You can see here we've got on the regulator here, we've got, which one are we? Here we are, 12.9 volts in the battery bank at the moment. We have just bored the kettle, so it's gone down a slight bit. We've been using the power. And on the inverter, as you can see here, in the LED displays, you've got 12.8, that's the battery voltage, and then the second display down the bottom here, you've got 227 volts, which is what you would find 240 or 230 or 250 is what you would find in a normal grid connected property. So the inverter is changing the voltage coming from the battery bank of 12.8, it's changing it to 228 volts. So as we look back at our regulators, the cables then leave the regulator, and then they connect onto the battery bank, and then from the battery bank with large cables, then they enter into negative and positive into the inverter, and that's the inverter that we've got here. That power is then fed up through a flex into a standard fuse board, garage fuse board. As you can see there, you've got normal trip switches, so it's all very safe. If there was a problem, it would just trip. And then the power is then distributed around the property in the building. And if I show you this here, if I switch this on, this is just a normal kettle. It's got a lot of water and it's full. It's 1.7 litres. If I switch it on, you can see the lights just come on. So if I wait a second, so you can see there's the kettle there. It's just starting to make some noise. And if we come back and look at the PV system, that kettle's boiled a number of times because I've just warmed it up beforehand. The voltage from the batteries dropped back down to 12.3. Now we are 5 o'clock in the afternoon and there's very little light now. The sun is quite weak and it's just starting to go down. So even with the battery bank, we're able to boil a kettle. My son is actually playing on the Xbox as well as. And then while we're waiting for the kettle to boil, which you can see it's still boiling, we've got over here a deep freeze, Logic deep freeze, which is here. And if I just show you here very quickly, you can see here that the deep freeze in there, as you can see the black needle there, is at -15. It's at -15. So the sun's energy, the sun's light, is producing electrical current, producing power, which is able to create a freezing environment of -15. And then over here we've got our normal fridge, which is running very nicely as it would in a normal house, in any house. And then you can see here that we have just boiled 1.7 litres of water. So if I just open it up carefully, there we have, completely boiling. So there we are. And while we've been doing that as well, my son's been playing on the Xbox, and that's why the power's gone down a little bit. So yeah, so that's basically an off-grid system in the UK, even with the UK in October, which I find absolutely phenomenal. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. Thank you.